Phil to Ev, Saturday, June 21st, 5:20. Ev, dear, last night when I wrote, I didn't realize that I have plenty of time today and tomorrow to write. All we had to contend with today was inspection, but it was plenty. There isn't so much work attached to it as it is nerve-wracking, worrying that the inspecting officers might call you down for any one of 1,000 possible things. From the minute I got up until inspection at 11 o'clock, I was busy fussing with my equipment and person. At 11:30, we were called out to draw another set of denims, making 3 in all, and another shirt. After that, the fellows got busy on their laundry because most of them wanted to go to town tonight and wanted to be ready. I had no such intention, so I went to bed and slept until 2 o'clock, when I was given a rifle to clean. This took till supper time. As you can see by the dateline, I began this immediately after. Oh yes, before I took my nap, I got myself a haircut. So much for routines. I received your half and half letter this morning, dear, and you know something? The thrill that I experience every time I receive mail from you never seems to diminish. I get just as excited now as I did the first few times. Want to know something else? Your letters are improving. By that, I mean that, parentheses, I just refilled the pen and got ink all over my fingers. I mean that your manner of writing is more polished, your choice of words far better, and the general tone of your letters more mature than ever before. The possibility that you might be here tomorrow is a pleasure that I am not going to relinquish until I'm sure you couldn't come. I intend to call you later tonight at my aunt's place and give you a few necessary details such as my exact address and where to tell the driver of the bus to let you off. I figure if I wait until 7:30, page 2, you'll be able to tell me definitely whether or not you're coming in. I was going to the movies tonight, but when I found that Buck Privates was scheduled for tomorrow, I decided to wait. Hope we can get to see it together, sweet. I'm literally holding my breath. It just occurred to me that as you read this, you may be recalling the swell time we had yesterday. I hope you're at Tante Shuj's tonight when I call, baby. The sound of your voice, for me, has the quality of food for a starving man. Your presence would fill the void completely and fortify me and bolster me for the 2 weeks following when I know I'll miss you like the devil, especially if I don't see you tomorrow. Tell Jake I'm sorry to hear he's disappointed with Yvette, but tell him not to forget that chippies her age, most of them, still have a lot to learn. He must realize that when we make idols of humans and endow them with qualities which are born of wishful thinking, we are apt to be disillusioned occasionally. Therefore, if a fellow wants to spare himself this disappointment, he is wise to take a girl as she is, appreciate her faults by trying to understand their origin, and be thankful for any good qualities she may have. However, do not close your mind and your heart and take worthiness for granted, which is the tendency where a pretty girl is concerned. It all boils down to this. Yvette is probably acting her age, which means that she's thoughtless and willful. Still, it's to be expected and not to be condemned, but corrected. I'm sure if Jake will show a little perseverance and impart some of his sober common sense, through not too obvious channels, to his girlfriend, and at the same time tries to understand what makes her tick in what at times seems to him such an unreasonable manner, he'll find her human, lovable, and altogether satisfactory. Does all this strike a familiar note, sweet? It should. I tried and found more happiness than I ever believed possible. Love and regards to all. I adore you, baby. Phil. Ev to Phil, June 23rd, 1941, 7:50 p.m. My sweet, here I am, safe and sound, writing to you, dear. The trip on our return was pleasant in one respect, a strong wind. As we neared Philly, it again became hot and stuffy. I tried to sleep but found it impossible due to the seat I occupied. I just couldn't get comfortable. When I arrived home, 11:30, I was a sight. After changing my clothes, brushing my hair, and washing my face, I felt like a new person. I called Edna, relaying Sam's message. I also held on to his letter, which she picked up this morning on her way to work. Finally, I relaxed on the porch to discuss the, quote, eventful day, unquote, with Mom. I, quote, hit the bed, unquote, at 1:15 and went out like a light. I was like a dead pigeon this morning, but page 2, as the day wore on, I regained my strength. I think that bit of lovin', question mark, put the finishing touches on everything that needed finishing. You were mighty sweet, baby, mighty sweet. All I ask of you is to stay as sweet as you are. It's a pleasure to love such a, quote, wonderful guy, unquote, like you. I was as busy as a bee today at work. Myra met me at noon and we had lunch together. I explained what had happened and she said she realized that you hated to let me go. From the sound of your voice on the telephone. I was very anxious to get home early this evening, but wonder of wonders, the L's had stopped running. I don't know what happened. At any rate, I didn't get home until 6:20 on the trolley. I called my mother just before, page 3, leaving the office. I had a few spare moments. My father answered the telephone. He seemed very happy. It seems his luck has been changing for the better. He's going to meet me tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll slip out of the office to give me a few dollars. He says it is gravy, so he is giving it to me. Please don't mention it to anyone. He is keeping some in reserve to give my mother, who seems happier these days. I received your Friday, June 20th letter today, which, sweet, I thought was utterly beautiful. You're a natural. I just found out that Morty Greitzer is going to Camp Lee, Virginia tomorrow. Harry Wyman got his notice to appear for the Army examination, July 2nd, and will probably be in the Army 2 weeks later. I am going to write to New York, page 4, about the magazines. All I have, however, is an envelope which they sent me. I don't know who to address, but I'll send the letter in the self-addressed envelope, which bears only a post office box number. I'll send one postcard with each letter, so you won't have to carry them on your person. Mom became extraordinarily happy to hear that you are interested in writing to FDR. I explained that if you are able to get out, we would have a baby to keep you out. Incidentally, Myra, who is very confidential with my mother, told me that my mother expressed a hope that I wouldn't have a baby just yet. She thinks I'm too young. My mom told me that it would make her very happy if I had a baby when you get out of the Army for good. I am ready any time you are. Mom sends her love and hopes you are well. I'm sending my love and God bless you. Your ever-loving wife, Ev.